Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? One of the things we discussed last week, especially after the Saints signed Jarvis Landry, was the other needs remaining in free agency. And I think you can highlight a few. I think defensive tackle has got to be on that list. Possibly another linebacker, I think, is probably out there. They might have addressed that. We'll see. Quan Alexander's still lingering, and I think there's a good chance they could bring Quan back at the right terms. We've talked about tight end. And one that I mentioned before the draft and have continued to mention is running back. And the Saints have tried. They brought in Sony Michel and I think hoped to sign him, but ultimately he picked the Miami Dolphins. And we've talked about that a good bit and why that, competitively maybe doesn't make a lot of sense for Sony Michel or even financially, but it does put him closer to home. He played high school football about 20 minutes from Hard Rock Stadium. Well, when we were looking at the free agent running backs, there were a few that we looked at. One of them obviously was Sony Michel. And the other sort of top targets that we discussed here a few weeks ago, one of them, you might remember, was Philip Lindsay, the undrafted running back out of Colorado, who had a really good start to his season with back-to-back 1,000-yard years for the Denver Broncos, and then has just sort of scuttled and scuffled since. Well, Philip Lindsay is off the board. And the Colts, Schefter tweeted it this morning after there were reports. Schefter tweeted, the Colts have officially signed free agent running back Philip Lindsay, and they waived running back, Max Borghi. So Philip Lindsay is officially off the board now. He's a member of the Indianapolis Colts. And if you remember, the guy that I was sort of the most bullish on was Tariq Cohen. Tariq Cohen had a really good start to his career. He was a fourth-round pick by the Bears. He, back in 2017, a strong rookie year, was an all-pro returner in 2018. And had a knee injury last year, and it cost him a season. He was fighting to come back from that injury, and that's a guy that I would have taken a flyer on. I say would have because of this. I'm going to show the video. So if you're watching on YouTube, just a fair warning that Tariq Cohen was doing a drill, and he ruptured his Achilles. We'll play the video, but just fair warning, he does get injured. You can't really see anything, but you do see him fall. He was streaming a workout live on Instagram, and as he was backpedaling, he dropped. He was backpedaling, planted to take off again, and he just fell. And he ruptured his Achilles. So, it's so disappointing, man. An Instagram live feed caught his injury happen with people watching it. Not that it's okay either way, but, man, to have people watching while you did it live just sucks. But you feel for him. I mean, it's a guy whose career may well be over. The shelf life of running backs we know is short in the NFL to begin with, and now you have a guy who has battled major knee and now Achilles injuries. It's going to be hard to see him coming back. So I don't know where the answer is, where you go from here. I know a lot of people continue to say Darrel Williams, and considering the way that the Saints have sort of attacked this offseason, signing both Tyrann Mathieu and Jarvis Landry, it's not a terrible option. And I do think that the Saints still have to address the running back spot this year, because I know it sounds a little bit like a broken record, but you've got Kamara. We're all anticipating Kamara is going to miss 6 games due to suspension. Mark Ingram is 30 years old, and you don't know really how much he has left in the tank or if you're going to count on Mark Ingram. And after that, it's Dwayne Washington. You're talking about guys like that. Abram Smith is a guy where I think we're hopeful for, undrafted free agent, out of Baylor, who the Saints invested a lot of money, more than $200,000 into him. But when you look at the rest of this list of available free agent running backs after Tariq Cohen, David Johnson, who's 30, Jalen Richard, Devontae Booker, Carlos Hyde, Malcolm Brown. I mean, of all those, Darrel Williams is 27. Darrel Williams is the youngest of all the guys I just mentioned. Latavius Murray's out there, but he's 32 years old now.
Present.
I mean, you let him walk prior. Do you really want him 2 years removed? You had Devontae Freeman here last year, and you cut him. You really bringing him back? I don't know. Maybe Alex Collins, Wayne Gallman, a couple of 27-year-old running backs that are available. You just don't have a great option. With Darrel Williams, you're talking about a guy who's from New Orleans, who has been part of a Super Bowl championship team, who knows how to play his role. He has never been the feature back in an offense, but knows how to play his role within that offense. So maybe so. Maybe Darrel Williams might be the next target. He was, last year played for the Chiefs on a 1-year, $1.6 million deal. So you want to talk about an affordable option, that could be it for Darrel Williams, for the Saints, if he kind of wants to continue that trend of getting the band back together. When I mention 27 years old, keep in mind, and this matters, because when you look at Darrel Williams' time at LSU, he was never the bell cow, right? He was there behind Fournette and Geis. So he was never the guy taking 200 carries in a season. And in his 4 NFL seasons, the most rushing attempts he's had in a year was last year in Kansas City, where he had 144. So as a rookie, he carried the ball 13 times, 41 times in year 2, 39 times in year 3. And then, of course, Clyde got hurt last year. And so he ended up with 144 carries. But for his career, he's played in 51 games and carried the ball just 237 times. So you're looking at a guy that is, even at 27, has to be considered a young 27 because he just hasn't taken a big beating. And I could think of far worse options to bring into camp on a rookie minimum deal. And again, Darrel Williams would not have been my first choice. I mentioned guys who have been more productive in their NFL careers than Darrel Williams, but Sony Michel is signed. Phillip Lindsay is signed. Tariq Cohen's injured. I don't know that you have a better free agent option right now. I mentioned Darrel Williams. His college career kind of was similar to the way his pro career went. 64 attempts as a freshman, 60 as a sophomore, 52 as a junior, and then in 2017, he had 145 rushing attempts. So, it wasn't until his fourth year that he actually went over 100 attempts. So he only had 321 career attempts in college. He's got just over 200 career attempts in the NFL. So 27 and a young 27 because he hasn't taken a beating. That could be a guy who could fit a lot of roles for you. He could play special teams as well. Darrel Williams may be an option for the New Orleans Saints at running back. Stand by. Stay tuned because they need an option there. He may be the best one available. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.